45% of their success is in their ability to prospect. That successful salespeople understanding prospect, and I'm going to prove that out to you in a couple minutes. Suppose we called up and we said to you, "Good morning, Mr. Jones, this is Steve Schiffman from your company," right? "And the reason I'm calling you today is to set an appointment." Would you get an appointment? If that's all you said. Probably not. At least that's what we think. But I'll show you something. Suppose, Bridget, we called 1,000,000 people. Do you think one person would give us an appointment if that's all we said? 1,000,000. Sure, somebody. The problem is, why can't we call 1,000,000 people to get one appointment? Why won't that work? Sure, we don't have enough time. So therefore, what we have to do is enhance that statement. In cold calling, there are basically 5 steps that we want to look at in terms of how to get the appointment. This is the opening. Second step we're going to do is we're going to identify ourselves and our company. Now, this is important. A lot of us tend to rush through that, and we actually speak in code words. In other words, we call up and we mention our name very quickly and say, "Oh, I'm from XYZ company," and the person has no idea what you've said. You want to make sure that you're giving a little commercial here to build up your company. So I'm going to give a little bit of a commercial because I also want my audience, and that's the person I'm calling now, to catch up to me, to pick up my cadence, and the commercial allows them to do that. Anybody here ever get hung up on? Do you ever get anybody give you an objection? Sure. In fact, we know that we're going to get those objections, aren't we? I wrote down the common objections that most of us hear every single day we make cold calls. And you hear the same things I hear. This is what we get. No need. We're not interested. We're happy or we're all set. And you hear that all the time. You're like, "Hey, listen, thanks for calling, but we're all set. We have no time to talk to you. I'm just too busy to talk right now. I hate you. Hate your company. Don't want to ever deal with you people again. You once did something to me. Terrible. I won't ever talk to you again. Send me material," or "We're talking to other people." When you look at this, you say to yourself, wait a second. I've heard these things before, so how do you turn that around? Let's do this. On our piece of paper, let's take this first one. I'll take this one right here, number 3, happy. And let's put down the letter A. And let's actually take a look at how do you handle the objection when the person says to you, "Listen, I'm all set. I'm happy with what I've got. I'm all set." If you know what the objection is, you should be able to turn it around. You've heard it before. So let me tell you a true story so I can show you how I handle this objection. I was calling a bank a number of months ago. Now, I do a lot of work with a lot of banks all over the United States. Calling a bank, and I called up this particular person at the bank, and this is what he said to me. It was at 7 o'clock in the morning. It was one of these early calls that you make, and you all know what I'm talking about. Got him on the phone. I said to him, "Hi, Mr. So-and-so, this is Steve Schiffman from DEI Management Group. The reason I'm calling you today is to set an appointment to tell you about our new products and how we can help you." He said, "Steve, let me stop you right there." Have you ever heard that? Let me stop you right there. He said to me, "Steve, I don't want to waste your time. We already have training, and we're happy with what we've got." And he holds up the phone so I can hear in the background noise of people being trained. Now, there I am at 7 o'clock in the morning, and what do you think I felt like? Right there, he says to me, "Oh, look, here, somebody else is coming in." How do you think I felt right then? Not good. Not good, pretty bad. But how should I have felt? And you think about that, you start to realize, how should I have felt? Sure, they're users, they're training, they're doing some things right now. Therefore, I know they're using my service. If someone tells you they're using your service, that's great. Now we should feel good about it. Listen to what I said. This is important. When he said to me, remember I deal with a lot of banks. When he said to me, "Steve, we already have training, we're doing it," I said to him, "You know something, Mr. Jones? Let's go to the person who says to you, 'I'm too busy,' or 'I have no time to talk to you.' That'll be our C turnaround. Now watch. A lot of us, when we call somebody up and say, 'Mr. Jones, the reason I'm calling is to set an appointment,' person says to you, 'I'm too busy to talk,' we say, 'Oh, well, what's a good day I can call you? Can I call you tomorrow?' But of course, we get ready tomorrow to call them. Inevitably, what happens tomorrow? They don't take the call. So it doesn't really work. Here's a better way. How do you handle the protracted conversation? In other words, the conversation that kind of continues onwards, where at the end you're selling too much and the person hangs up on you. And this is alleged. Now listen to the conversations, you can hear it. I call somebody up and they say to me, "Steve, that's interesting, what do you do?" Well, there's the word interesting. Boy, I'm on a roll. Well, that's interesting, what do you do? So of course the first thing I do is I start to tell them, "Well, we do sales training." Well, what kind of sales training do you do? Well, we do cold calling, prospect management, sales skills. That's really interesting. Now, look what's happening. I'm starting to dig in deeper. He says, really, that's interesting. Well, how do you do it? And I explain it. Now, watch. Here's the ledge. And this is what it sounds like. This is what you hear. And it may sound something like this. They say to you, well, just out of curiosity, what do you charge? Or how are your rates? Or, gee, I don't know. Now, listen. When you hear that, you have to know how to turn that around, or else suddenly you're into this nowhere conversation, because what you start to say is, well, you know, it'd be best if I came out to tell you about it, but that's not what they're asking. They're asking you a specific question. Watch. In order for you to be successful in sales today, you've got to be obsessed by it. You've got to think about it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But listen now, obsession without discipline results in chaos. The fact of the matter is, as obsessed as you are, as much as you want to succeed, if you're not disciplined to stay through and work it through, it doesn't work.